At the height of World War II, American forces did something so far ahead of its time that even the most experienced German commanders couldn't understand what they were seeing. On a battlefield in North Africa, U.S. tanks were moving with impossible precision, turning, advancing, retreating, and striking in perfect coordination as if they were all controlled by a single mind. There were no flags being waved, no runners carrying orders, no visible signals of any kind. And yet, every movement was synchronized. To the Germans watching through their optics, it didn't look like normal warfare. It looked like something entirely new and deeply unsettling. What they were witnessing during the Battle of Kasserine Pass wasn't just better tactics or more disciplined crews. It was the beginning of a technological shift that would quietly redefine how wars were fought. At that time, German armored units relied on communication systems that were already beginning to show their limits. Their radios were often plagued by static, interference, and inconsistency, and in many cases only a fraction of their tanks could actually transmit messages. The rest were forced to listen, wait, and react, creating delays that could mean the difference between victory and defeat. But the Americans had already moved beyond that limitation. Inside every Sherman tank, there was a system the Germans neither understood nor could effectively counter. Instead of relying on the older amplitude modulation used across much of the world, the United States had fully adopted frequency modulation, FM radio, bringing a level of clarity and reliability that was almost unheard of in the chaos of battle. Orders could be sent instantly, received without distortion, and acted upon immediately. Entire units could coordinate across vast distances as if they were standing side by side, even in the dust and confusion of combat. This invisible advantage transformed American armored forces into something fundamentally different. They were no longer just individual tanks operating together. They became a connected network, capable of adapting in real time, responding faster than their enemy, and executing maneuvers with a level of precision that seemed almost impossible under battlefield conditions. While German units struggled to relay a single clear command under pressure, American divisions were already moving, reacting, and outmaneuvering them before the message could even be understood, and this gap only grew wider. As the war expanded into Italy and later into France, the same technology continued to prove its superiority, even in mountainous terrain and dense environments where communication had always been difficult. When new challenges appeared, like coordinating directly with infantry during the invasion of Normandy, American forces adapted quickly, introducing simple but effective solutions that kept their advantage intact. It wasn't just about having better equipment. It was about building a system that could evolve faster than the battlefield itself. Meanwhile, German leadership, including figures like Heinz Guderian, fully understood how critical communication was to modern warfare. But understanding the problem was not enough. Germany simply could not produce enough reliable radios to keep up with its own armored forces. Thousands of tanks rolled off production lines, but many entered combat without the ability to fully communicate, limiting their effectiveness in ways that no amount of armor or firepower could overcome. In contrast, the United States turned its industrial strength into a decisive advantage. Companies like Motorola shifted their production capabilities to supply tens of thousands of advanced radio systems, ensuring that every Sherman tank on the battlefield was fully equipped. It was a level of standardization and coordination that no other nation could match at the time, and it changed everything. By the time of battles like the Battle of Kasserine and the capture of the Ludendorff Bridge at Remagen, the results were undeniable. American forces weren't just fighting with tanks, they were fighting with information, with speed of decision, with unity of action. Their strength didn't come from having the most powerful machines on the battlefield, but from their ability to act as a single, coordinated force in moments where hesitation meant defeat. In the end, the Germans had tanks with thicker armor and more powerful guns. On paper, they had the advantage. But war is not decided on paper. It is decided in moments where communication, clarity, and coordination matter more than anything else. And in those moments, the United States had already built something the world had never seen before. A way of fighting where every unit was connected, every decision was immediate, and every action was synchronized. Because in modern warfare, victory doesn't belong to the strongest machine. It belongs to the side that moves as one.